We have been blessed to experience the seasons of brand new V, Veronica White.
Welcome to the stage at this point. Please welcome Veronica White.
Well, this is a cross-strung harp. This is the last of a long string of instruments that I went through trying to find the instrument of my heart. I played my first instrument in elementary school, as most of us did. The recorder, it's like a song flute. And the teacher decided to put together a little ensemble. I asked her if I could play the flute. That was the instrument that I thought was the instrument of my heart. But she didn't have any, so she gave me a choice. She said, well, we have a violin or we have a triangle. So I didn't really think that was much of a choice. So I picked the violin. I was 7. As I said, yeah, I was 7. I had been in the glee club for a year, which was why I was able to get into the ensemble. And so I played the violin, and I continued playing it through junior high school. In high school, I went to music and art. I got a chance to try the flute. I babysat for a summer. I bought myself a flute. I played it. I realized that it made me dizzy. That was the end of that. I don't like being dizzy. But somewhere along the line, I always liked the harp. But it was huge. The only harp that I ever saw was the kind in the orchestra, in the concert orchestra, like the Philharmonic. And I just, somewhere in the back of my mind, let me know that I was not going to get my hands on one of those. So I kind of put it out of my mind and played a bunch of other instruments. This is instrument number 12.
Veronica White was a creative force of nature. Life was her studio and music was her muse. The proud niece of Thelonious Monk, she called herself just that, the niece of Monk. Insatiable creative, delving into photography, videography, drawing and painting, as well as knitting, sewing, pottery, jewelry, beadwork, and more. A resourceful woman who spoke her mind, she held to her convictions and lived the life as an artist and adventurous world citizen.
Her compassion and what I consider to be a 360 community that she touched. She wasn't monolithic. She had many communities, and she was able to touch people right where they are.
A woman of virtue and integrity. I call this little magnificent woman Mama V. A woman with many looks. She had plenty of style, a sister with a sense of humor, and had one of the hugest smiles. One of the hugest smiles that I have ever seen. She reached for some stars and she followed some dreams. With her big full cheeks and that look that be staring so bold, her eyes spoke a language that transmutes through our souls.
with the strings that correspond with the black keys automatically has a pentatonic feel or Asian feel. The harp makes me feel peaceful. When I play the harp, I have a whole other image of myself. Like, I can picture myself playing on a balcony over some water, something in some tropical or, warm weather place. It kind of transports me.
And I know there would be people that we knew mutually that had no clue of all the things that she could do. And it'd be amazing to me. Like, you don't know that Mama V does that.
I'd heard through other people, I guess, that a family member of hers was a famous musician, but it wasn't the kind of thing that she would talk about. So I didn't know a lot about that. I just knew her as a person, a really sweet person, very dedicated to helping other people, a strong interest in music, but she didn't flaunt like her musical ability. You kind of learned it as it became a part of whatever it was you were experiencing with her.
Dude, it'd be amazing to me. Like, you don't know that Mama V does that? You didn't know she played the trumpet too? Or you didn't know she played the bass and the flute and the harp and the violin and the drums and the piano and I'm sure so much more. You didn't know that she could draw like that? And you didn't know she could make that? She could braid too. She could braid from here. And had this spunk about her, and the tone of her voice, always the same. Just kind of mellow and relaxed. Even anger, she'd be just the same tone. Just a very distinctive vibration from her tone.
Hi, I'm V'Da Nessa Monk, and this is my neighbor, Ayurie, and she's going to take a piano lesson, and she's really good. She's smart, and she learns quickly. That's why she's here.
And so it was many years after we had first met, and I began to see that the respect people had for her. I began to see that she was a foundation of new ideas. I began to see that she was a Renaissance woman, which I had not known before. I began to see her playing a multitude of different instruments, and I began to see her interact well with people. I began to see her ideas being put into practice with various groups of people that we worked in, and I had not known that about Veronica before.
had a passion for music. And so I'm quite confident that music served as a therapy to her. And she offered that to others.
Just use the information that I have from other instruments, and I just, try to create. I try to shape. I just try things to see if I can make it do something nice.
I would say in a world where people are often making decisions based on self-interest, it's hard to find people who do things with other people in mind. And Veronica was just that kind of person. So you could feel really comfortable talking with her and knowing that whatever it was you were doing or involved with, there wasn't some desire to gain something. It was really just about how can I be there and how can I be supportive coming from her end of it. And as a result, you naturally wanted to give as much as you can to her as a person because she was just positive, pleasant, sweet, and just, very genuine.
That her ability to be creative no matter where she was. She loved life. What impressed me about her is that she was a sister that just loved to do things and to experiment on different things. What I love about her, I've known her for many, 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 many years. She worked at the Boys and Girls Club in Navy Yard, downtown Brooklyn. And that's how I met her, through a program, and she needed a job. But it was something about those brown eyes that I loved about her, the way she looked at you.
She would never give up. She made sure I never give up, because the times I would break down, she would be there for me and say, "Hey, Klein, you need a moment." I would say yes, and she would say, "Okay, Kamaya, I'm gonna go get some water. You do what you need to do, and when I come back..."
She was a risk taker. She was adventurous. She did what she felt moved her, and that's the definition of living your best life, right? So V, we gonna miss you. We miss you already. If you're watching this, however this universe works,
that was one blessed sister, and a continual to be a sister in my heart and in my love for life.
There were pieces of Veronica that I uncovered over time that really, illuminated her struggle more to me and made me feel a kinship with her. That makes it easier for me to speak somewhat about, there were pieces of her that she allowed me to know about. That really made her struggle clear to me as an artist and as a woman, as a Black woman. I really felt that there was something about Veronica that was ancestral and on a higher level than it appeared to be. And I learned so much about her Afrocentric interests and her interest in fostering children or helping children learn music. I know that this is the legacy that we should encourage, whether we, support it by supporting another school that's doing that for kids in her name or whatever we do. But I think that she would want us to encourage everyone to learn an instrument.
Our leaders, our teachers, our mentors, to all whom are in the ancestral world, we say thank you.
I do know that she was a friend, she was a good friend,
And she was just so talented and so inquisitive. You know, she would keep asking you questions and questions, and she had knowledge that she would provide you as well. And she was so, everything engaged her. Veronica was just a very down-to-earth, humble person. She would come to the park and bring her harp and just play. You know, she didn't worry about what you thought of her playing or the fact that she was there. She would just play. She'd bring her trumpet and play. She would go to the jam sessions and sing. I don't think your ideas of her would affect her. Her singing just blew me away. Such a powerful singer, blues singer, jazz singer.
She really exemplified, not, talking about Black Lives Matter in a esoteric way, but in a grounded, real way. With friends and family and making family wherever she went. So, once again, true to form, honest, kind, value system.
What you see when you look at a piano?
Well, I see white keys, and then I see higher black keys.
Okay, tell me about the black keys.
The black keys are in sets of 2 and 3. The sets of 2 are, I remember you told me that they're called twins, and the sets of 3 are called triplets.
Yeah, it's just something to help you remember. Okay, it's not like official, all right? You're not gonna find that in the music book.
And she played it well. And I can speak because when that child, Kamala, spoke about how Sister V took her in. See, I don't have children either. We gotta learn. All children are our children.
She showed me, and I'm sure others, that there are really no limitations. And so we shouldn't limit ourselves. And if it's something we want to try to do it. And before there were the DIY, do-it-yourself YouTubes, Mama V was the do-it-yourself. And I think she taught me how to make paper. I make paper. She showed me how to make so much different things, and just always, I would call her the queen of creativity. And she was much more to me than just V'Da Nessa Monk. She was Mama V. And I know she's still with us. So I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I've been blessed to have known her in this life. So I give thanks.
My name is Amy Lemaire, and I'm an artist and an educator. Veronica was a big part of the glass community here in New York. And, I worked with her, alongside her in the community for about 6 years over at Urban Glass. first met her in Bead Project, which is an entrepreneurial course that I taught for many years over at Urban Glass. And she was a student in my workshop. And together, we would blow glass in the studio, and she learned how to make glass beads and design the jewelry line. And then at the end, we had a trunk show down at the gallery and sold beads. And then progressed into sculpture. And then it got wacky, and we started adding plasma and adding some programming with some microcontrollers and sensors, and really exploring what glass can be. And it was just such a privilege to be able to do that with her and with the community. Just throwing out all kinds of ideas and then saying, let's see if we can make it. She kept coming around and blowing glass, and we had many opportunities to work together after that in other workshops, and then just as friends in the studio working together. I think that my relationship with Veronica, she would always show up during the process, during the making process, just to come into the studio. It's almost like she could tell there was something exciting going on, and it would lure her to the studio, and where we could exchange energy. So I feel like she is in my process a lot, just because those are the times where we would interact in the studio during the making process, more than when the work was finished. And I feel her spirit's here in the studio.
Veronica is my cousin. She's a monk, I'm a Smith, so overall we're cousins through marriage. The loneliest monk is both of our uncles from opposite sides of the family. We will often run into each other in the streets or maybe at a function. And she'll say, hey, cuz, what are you doing? What's going on with you? And I would tell her whatever performance I just had or whatever performance is about to come. She'll tell me about what she's getting ready to get into. Oh yeah, I just learned how to play this instrument or that instrument. She plays a lot of different instruments. The most amazing one was the harp, when she decided that she was going to learn how to play the harp, and learned how to play the harp. But she was always supportive in my dancing. I'm a dancer and I'm an actress. When I was thinking about going in the direction of acting, she was very encouraging. She says, don't worry about what other people say. Just go for it. Just go for it. She would always say, just go for it. Two things. Either you'll find you can do it or you'll find you can. So she was always encouraging. The dance Ottawa. Ottawa is a dance from Ghana, Africa. And when I learned the dance company that I was with, Marie Brooks Dance Children's Company. And what we did was we traveled different parts of the world, and we would go into the villages and we would learn the native dances and get permission to bring them back to the States, and we would perform them. So when Veronica went home to the Lord, I wanted to do something to offer something. I didn't know what I was going to do. There was a moment while I was dancing, believe it or not, and I remember exactly when it was, when I was dancing. Ottawa dance, the movement of the hands also tells the story. And there was a moment where when I went down low and then I came up high, I did feel something. And if I had to describe it, it was ultimate peace. It was ultimate settlement. And it was such a flow of movement where it wasn't even me controlling what I was doing. So I want to say thank you for being the cousin that you was to me. You will always be remembered. And I will take with me
the various lessons that I learned from you. I will take with me the strength, the steadfastness, the gifts, the talents, your tell it like it is-ness. I thank you. Your legacy will live on with me. I love you. And God bless you forever and ever until we meet again.
Round about midnight, then I'm gonna do another song and invite the drums. Then I just wanna bless her, bless this moment with the piano.
Relationships mean. History happens when we get together. Stories interweave.
What was really beautiful, many of the people who participate in the Future Historical Society are artists, and Veronica herself was clearly an artist in her practice, in her way of living in the world. And so at one point in the journey, we were thinking about the Future Historical Society and the way we storytell, and it was her idea to think about a song that would become the theme song for the group.
History happens when we get together.
Stories weaving, lives arriving, leaving, believing. This is where we be. I see you and you see me. Hearts pulsing, beating, waking, sleeping, fasting, feasting.
Very nice. Yeah.
So eventually you all are gonna have some parts in there.
It was kind of a play on the F word, obviously, but really a play on the fact that it was Fort Greene and that the work of the Future Historical Society what really centers family and friendship and fun and all of these things that started with F. And so they working together created a beautiful song that they invited all of us to participate in that was really gorgeous and playful and human. Again, that vulnerability, the practice of vulnerability in songwriting and inviting other people to work with her, you know, with the guitar to really create a sound that was our sound and our way of acknowledging the importance of why we were coming together as a community. And so Veronica was really instrumental, literally, in creating that song and bringing the heart of that song forward.
This is where we be. I see you and you see me. Hearts pulsing, beating, waking, sleeping, fasting, feasting.
Veronica was somebody who was interested in bringing forth the song in each of us. And so when I think about what she's leaving behind with the Future Historical Society and with all of the friends and family and the people who knew her, all of us will continue to move forward in this life trying to find that song, trying to find the beauty and our capacity to engage with one another, to find joy and care in the world. I think about her as somebody who was available continuously in bringing the song of the earth forward. And so that to me is her legacy. She came to this world to write a song with her life, and she did. And I'm grateful that I got to be a part of it.
For everything there is a season. We have been blessed to experience the seasons of brand new V, Veronica White. Veronica took life as lessons to learn and to teach, as openings and closings of her evolutionary chapters. She who overcomes shall be dressed in white, and I will not blot out her name from the book of life, but I will confess her name before the Father and before his angels. Revelation 3, verse 5. She became intentional about how she lived her life. A journey during which time she found purpose and her path. The answers to the why and what she was born to do. Giving freely of herself, her artistic talent, and musical teachings. She surrendered to her calling and what was to come next. Veronica White, dressed in white, dipped into water to be baptized, symbolized the resurrection of her next steps. And seemed to be saying, I trust you, God. Veronica White was indeed fearless with her intentions and endeavors. She reminded us that when you pass through waters, I will be with you. And through the rivers, they shall not overwhelm you. She was Kwanzaa and the Seven Principles. She was the magic of music and art delivered on the wings of love. She was in flight, while also in preparation to take flight.
Kwanzaa, we're taking stock. It's a retrospective to build a successful collective. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna raise our hands in the air and pull down fists full of energy, and we're gonna say Harambe, because that means let's all pull together. Ready?